Chocolate Shop Ice Cream Company is a family-owned business. My husband's parents started the company in 1962. Started off as just a little ice cream shop serving candies and then ice cream that they made in the back room. Now we have 4 company-owned stores, and we distribute our brand of ice cream to ice cream shops throughout 37 states now for our brand. We also manufacture for some other larger accounts for private label, a lot of national brands that you can find in grocery stores. We specialize in a higher end product, so we are going to be the super fatty, super dense, good stuff. We've gone through a lot of growth in the past few years. We didn't have a system in place that was ready for that. So we had used Fishbowl, and then it connected with QuickBooks. They did integrate together, but the integration wasn't perfect. So the information that was in QuickBooks didn't always match what was in Fishbowl, and trying to gather the correct information was always really hard. As far as manufacturing, we were doing everything on paper, and then we would enter it after the fact into the system. All of our inventories would be a couple days behind when it came to ingredients as well as finished goods, which led to a lot of issues with shipping, but also, the system says you have 200 pounds of brownies, but they were actually used yesterday, but nobody remembers that. So we had a lot of issues with that as well. So when I first started looking for an ERP system, I ended up searching into it a little bit more. I realized that the MES system was very needed within our facility as well. Plex was put on our radar because one of our private label accounts actually uses Plex. We really liked the way that it was manufacturing focused. It felt like it was a perfect fit for what we needed and what we do. After we made the transition to Plex, we've been able to dive into the numbers so much more than I ever thought we would be able to. The information that's at your fingertips, and to be able to dive into financials, dive into where our inventory is, and know all of that information, I think that has been surprising at how much information you're able to gather. We have really found that we've been able to dive into our production process and see what our true line loss is. That has been such a difference with the system. When we're making ice cream, we put everything in a tank and you pump air into it, and sometimes you might get a certain number of tubs and sometimes you might get a different number of tubs. So batch processing was the best way to go for us. And with that, we've been able to really dive into where we're losing product in the system, what our waste factors are, and take those into consideration to make our yields actually much better, and to be able to aim for specific numbers and hit those numbers by knowing the information about what we've learned from previous rounds. I would say that our inventory has gotten drastically better. By being able to trust our inventory, it is now at a point where we're probably somewhere from 95 to 98% accuracy, which for years that would have been insane. So I think when we transferred from the other system, we were at about 75%. There are a million next steps with Plex. The thing about the system that everyone really likes is there are so many features and so many add-ons that you can make use of that we just haven't gotten there yet. When you get our quality team talking about all of the things that they want to do, we haven't fully done our onboarding within Plex yet. That is a very big goal within the next year. Eventually moving more towards automation within our production room, I think that would be very helpful for us. We are planning some expansions within production, and in that process, we'll most likely automate a little bit more. With Plex, we have really moved into the big leagues and become a much more legit company.